Relax now and let your body soften. Feel the gentle unfolding of each breath. Allow the whisper of a distant breeze to brush across your skin, like feather-light leaves drifting through a twilight garden. With each exhale, release tension. With each inhale, welcome calm and stillness. Notice the faint rustling of hidden branches overhead, the soft crackle of embers in a stone hearth, glowing warm and comforting. Your eyelids feel pleasantly heavy, as if the very air around you invites rest. Our story today sets sail at the edge of an ancient woodland, where the dawn light spills like melted gold across dew-kissed petals. The air is cool and fragrant with pine and moss. You find yourself beside a narrow country lane, where you see the humble manor of Elderbrook Manor, its timbered walls and thatched roof nestled within rolling hills. The soft murmur of a nearby stream lulls your senses, and birds trill awakening melodies, welcoming the morning's gentle arrival. In this tranquil scene lives our quiet hero, Elswith. She is a servant at the manor, kind, diligent, and gentle. She awakens before sunrise, guided by the hush of pre-dawn shadows and the distant lowing of cattle. In your mind's eye, see her slender silhouette rising from a simple straw pallet, brushing back her hair and slipping into her coarse linen shift. Feel the weight of her soft slippers on the flagstone floor, stepping toward the hearth where the fire still glows ember red, and the aroma of overnight oats hangs in the air, warming her hands as she sets a small bowl to warm. Feel the hearth's glow against your face, warming your chest, soothing your lungs as she scoops and stirs. Hear the crackle of tiny flames. Remember its rhythm as you breathe. Gentle in, gentle out. You are at peace. As the first golden tendrils of dawn stretch across the sky, Elswith opens the heavy oak door, and the cool breeze of morning greets her. A soft chorus of birdsong drifts in. She kneels to tie her shoes, the morning dew brushing her feet. She breathes deeply, inhaling the crispness, and you inhale with her. Breathe in, breathe out. As the birds call to one another, she smiles, her cares eased by the promise of a new day. Now, she begins her tasks. First, the scullery. Large wooden tubs of warm, soapy water await to wash the earthenware bowls and iron pots. Listen. Feel the slow swish of water as she dips a bowl, soft sponge against clay, the tiny bubbles dancing and popping. Each dip, each gentle scrub, each rinse, sounds like a variation of ocean waves lapping against smooth stones. Breathe with that rhythm. Lap, rinse, lap, relax. She moves then to the great kitchen, shelves of copper pots gleaming softly in the early light. She fetches chopped carrots, onions, root vegetables, scents filling the air as she places them in a vast cauldron simmering over the hearth. The broth is deep and warming, steam curling up into the stone chimney. Listen to the gentle hiss as a bubble breaks the surface, rising slowly like a memory of peace. Now imagine yourself in that kitchen corner, the comforting warmth brushing your cheeks, your ears filled with soft simmering, your hands gently folded in your lap. You feel completely at ease. Elswith gently walks through the manor's corridors, carrying a tray of fresh porridge to awaken the master's family. The corridors are quiet but not empty. They speak with echoes as the walls carry her footsteps. A gentle draft drifts along, shifting fine dust into slow, floating currents. Notice how still everything feels, how each tiny movement is measured and deliberate. Feel calm settle in your chest. You follow her to the buttery, where she slides open a wooden door to let in soft morning light. The buttery smells faintly of old oak and stored cheese layers of time held in the wood. She fetches fresh butter from the cold larder and places it gently on a breadboard. Each stick of butter is smoothed until it glows softly in the morning light, and clicks of knife against wood are slow and comforting. You, too, feel the smooth warmth of butter under touch, the soft grain of the board beneath your palm. Pause and savor this scene. Savor how calm radiates from the simplest rhythm. Open door, place butter, set tray, return, feel the stillness. Feel your breathing matching that pace. Slow, steady, serene. Dawn deepens. The manor's residents begin to stir. The day unfolds. Elswith fetches water from the well, her bucket swinging in gentle arcs thunk of wood against stone. Gurgle as water fills the pail. Feel the weight in her arms, steady and balanced. Let your own arms rest heavy and relaxed. Let your muscles soften. No hurry, no worry. Mid-morning sun plays through leaded windows as Elswith dusts the pewter candlesticks, polishing each curve until they gleam. The soft cloth whispers across cool metal. The cadence is hypnotic, soothing. Feel your mind drifting, carried on the cloth's slow motion. Then, with slight smile, Elswith tends the vegetable patch just outside the kitchen garden. Kneeling in soft earth, she gently weeds around spinach and carrot tops. Feel the warmth of the sun on your back, the faint rustle of leaves overhead. Bees flit lazily between blossoms, humming a lullaby only nature knows. You inhale that sweetness. Your breath is slow, contented. Sunlight drops a dappled pattern light and shade playing across soft ground softly, rhythmically. Now imagine the breeze drift through. Tiny breezes brushing your arms, the leaves overhead responding with a gentle shake. Everything moves in harmony. You are part of this calm. The world is quiet and serene. Midday near at hand, Elswith carries a basket of fresh produce to the kitchen. The lid closes with a soft thud. She carries it across flagstones, warmed by sun, the basket's handle firm in her relaxed grip. The kitchen smells of simmering stew, rich and comforting. You feel it too, deep in your chest, a warmth that radiates outward. Elswith sets down the basket by the hearth and lifts the ladle to stir the stew. The wooden spoon scrapes softly, spinning root vegetables into the thick broth. A single bubble breaks, leaking steam that swirls upward. Hold on to that swirl. Let it carry your worries with it, rising, fading into nothing. You are calm. She sets bowls for the midday meal. The chatter of the manor staff drifts through. Greetings, thanks, gentle laughter, all faint and easy as a lullaby. You feel as if you are floating beside them, soft words and friendly tones cushioning your mind. After the meal, Elswith carries the empty plates back to the scullery. Soft clinks echo in the hallway, each one marking another breath of gentle calm. She washes and dries, stacking them neatly. Take a breath with each clink, soft, soft, releasing. Afternoon wanes. Elswith brings fresh bedding to the family chambers. She shakes pillows until they puff like clouds. You hear the fabric sigh. Imagine laying your head on that pillow, you're drowsy, content, safe. Feel the softness conform to your shape, the gentle lift of comfort under your head. She straightens curtains, pulling them back to let late-day light flow in. The room glows in mellow gold. Shadows grow long and soothe the edges of the day. You, in that room with her, are soothed too by light, by silence, by the slow turning of time. Evening draws near. Elswith lights a single lantern in the hall. The flame flickers, painting delicate patterns on wooden beams, moving like a dream. You watch the patterns dance, your mind softening, drifting nearer to sleep. She moves back to the scullery, rinsing worn cloths by the trough, the water cooling as the day's warmth drains away. You feel that gentle transition inside yourself, as though you are carrying the day's warmth and now releasing it, letting it seep into the walls and floor. And now it is night. The manor hushes under quiet lantern light. Soft shadows takes a final walk outside. Feel her step on the cool grass, dew dampening her slippers. The moon is pale overhead, silver glaze on leaves, crickets whisper. The world is hushed yet alive. She pauses by the stream, watching water slip over stones. In the hush, you hear the water too. Each ripple, each drop, is a lullaby for your mind. You are calm, you are still, you are drifting. Take this moment, gently, hold it, and breathe. Let your body sink deeper. This quiet manor, so full of simple rhythms and gentle care, wraps around you in comfort. Now let go. Let sleep come as softly as a leaf drifting to the forest floor. Thank you. Now, let your body sink deeper into stillness. The fire in the hearth has dimmed only. Soft embers remain, glowing like sleepy stars. The breeze has cooled, and night folds over the land like a thick velvet blanket. You're safe here, still warm. Let us return, just for a while, to our quiet world of long ago. High above Elderbrook Manor, the stars wheel slowly through the sky, scattering silver light across fields, rooftops, and quiet lanes. The manor itself sleeps. Inside, the servants' quarters have fallen into hush. Simple pallets are laid side by side, woolen blankets drawn up to chins, gentle breaths rising and falling in unison. Among them lies Elswith, her long day complete. But sleep does not yet come to her. Instead, she rises quietly, careful not to disturb those beside her. She lights a candle and, barefoot, steps out into the cool hush of the courtyard. The night air wraps around her like a shawl, and you follow beside her in your mind, your own feet brushing against the cold stone path. Above, the moonlight rests tenderly on the earth, soft as a mother's hand brushing a child's brow. Elswith walks to the edge of the garden, where a willow tree stands, its branches low and swaying, its leaves whispering lullabies to the dark. Beneath it sits a wooden bench, worn smooth with time. She lowers herself there and breathes in deeply. You breathe with hers low, full, and easy. This moment is hers, and it is yours too. There are no tasks now, no duties waiting, only quiet, only peace. You inhale again and release, and you feel it to that deep need for silence, for stillness. And here, now, in this gentle place, you have it. As she watches the sky, memories stir. She thinks back to her first day at the manor, a girl of 14 with nothing but a satchel of cloth scraps and a ribbon her mother had tied into her braid. Her fingers trembled as she knocked at the gate, heart pounding. When the steward opened the door, she had curtsied, smiled, and stepped into her new life without turning back. Over the years, she has learned every creaking board and groaning hinge, every soft sigh of the wind against the stone. That rhythm lives on even now, like a pulse beneath the wall's tap creak. Hush, you can feel it wrapping around you, a lullaby of time and stone. Her life moves with the sun, rising before it, sleeping well after, always weaving between light and shadow. There were joyful moments, the cook slipping her a biscuit in secret hand, hard ones too, aching feet, scoldings, fingers burned by boiling pots. But Elswith never let bitterness take root. She found comfort in the small rituals, folding linens smooth, peeling carrots in a quiet rhythm, brushing dust from a windowsill while birds sang outside. Where others saw burden, she found purpose, she found peace. And now, so do you. The flame of her candle flickers in the breeze, but does not go out. It bends gently, but it holds fast, just like her, just like you. The moon continues its climb, silent and sure as time drifts like mist. Elswith rises from the bench, her legs stiff but steady, worn like softened leather. Slowly, she walks back across the courtyard. She kneels and adds one last log. It crackles, gently a warm goodbye to the day. You feel its warmth reaching outward like a memory. She pours a small cup of warmed milk, sweet with a hint of cinnamon. You smell it, too comforting, earthy, like something remembered from long ago. She drinks slowly, savoring it, and in that stillness, the world pauses with her. Then, at last, she returns to her cot. The dormitory is dim and still. Soft snores rise and fall, blankets shift with sleeping breath. Elswith slips beneath her own coverlet. Her pillow is thin, but familiar. Her eyes begin to close. Yours do too. But the world does not vanish, drifts softly. In her mind and in yours, dreams begin to rise. Meadows stretch into the distance. Leaves catch the golden light. There is no bell calling you back, no footsteps rushing past, no voices in need of your time. There is only rest, only peace. You are safe here. The world can wait. And now, drift downward, deeper, past thought, past time, into stillness. Thank you. You're doing so well. Let yourself go even deeper now. Sink further into this calm, this quiet. The night has no edges, here only shadow and breath, soft and slow. The world is hushed. Your mind is safe to drift. Far from the grand silhouette of the manor, past fields gone to dusk and low hills cloaked in ash-gray mist, lies the village of Renmere. Elswith's younger brother lives there with a weaver's family, though she hasn't seen him in 2 long seasons. Still, he often visits her dreams. In the quiet folds of night, she imagines him running barefoot across darkened fields, his hair streaming behind him like a banner, cheeks wind-burned, laughter rising like flickering lantern light through the gloom. They had once crafted tiny boats from bark and leaves, setting them adrift along the slow, cold brook near their childhood cottage. The heavy scent of wet soil, wood smoke, and honeysuckle in the early dark. Breathe in now. Imagine that same brook running near, black glass, broken only by silver ripples and the soft murmur of water against stone. Overhead, the stars remain as they have always been, fixed, cold, and watching. They witnessed Elswith's departure from home. They watched her grow into her place within the manor walls, quiet and wide, like a cathedral wrapped in ivy. The stars see all. They do not speak, but they remember just as you now drift through remembrance, through dream. In sleep, she finds herself back in the orchard behind the manor. The trees there are in bloom, even in the dream's deep night. Petals, pale as bone, fall like ash and settle in her hair. The air is thick and sweet, tasting faintly of old cider and cool moss. You walk beside her. The earth beneath your feet is soft and damp. Sunlight does not break through, here only the dim, filtered light of a waxing moon, that turns everything silver blue. She reaches for an apple. It is small, warm in her hand, its skin dull red against the twilight. She does not bite. She only holds it, as if feeling for a heartbeat. The birds that remain call out in low tones from deep branches, sparse, slow notes, each one dissolving the edges of thought. The orchard stretches endlessly, not in distance, but in weight. It is not a place, it is a presence, timeless, still then. Her mother's voice comes faint and trailing through the trees like fog. A lullaby, not sung but remembered in the bones. It speaks not in language, but in warmth. You may not know the tune, but your heart answers it. The song carries memory. The orchard fades, mist coils low, and the world softens. She is once again at the manor, but it is different now. The version that stands in dreams is older, gentler, built not of stone, but of shadow and candlelight. The walls hum softly, like a heartbeat heard through layers of time. There are no chores here, no commands, no burdens, only the sense of being held. She walks a corridor where the floors shift with each step, from creaking wood to cool moss, then to clouds that darken beneath her feet. She walks within a dream of memory. You walk beside her, feeling each surface as it changes, knowing none of it will last stand yet. It all feels real. She enters a small room. Stories rise from the pages like smoke, of bread shared before the fire on a winter-s morning, of hands joined in silent prayer. Beneath, a floor swept with patience. These are not lesser things. They are quiet devotions, offerings made not to gods, but to time itself. The book fades. Your body is light as ash. Your mind silent and wide as sky. You look down and see the land below, dim and green-gray beneath the stars. The orchard, a lace of shadow beneath moonlight, and yet still connected to Elswith, to the world below, and to your own soft center. Not to awaken, but to deepen. Return to your body as if lowering into cool water. Let your thoughts dissolve like smoke. The last candle in the manor flickers once and goes out. All is still now. All is quiet, and you are safe. Wonderful. Let's drift deeper now, gently gliding through that timeless space where dreams and stories meet. Your breath is soft, your limbs are light, and the world outside has faded. All that remains is calm. The candle is out, but its warmth lingers like memory in the stone walls of Elderbrook Manor. Elswith sleeps now, curled beneath a coarse blanket, one hand tucked beneath her cheek. Her face is peaceful, lit only by the silver glow from a narrow dormitory window. And yet, in her dream, she still walks. She finds herself before the manor's old chapel's mall, ancient, cloaked in ivy and moonflowers, the vines climbing upward as if in silent prayer. With a gentle push, the wooden door creaks open. Inside, the air is still, sacred. Rows of worn pews stretch forward, their surfaces smooth with time, while the stained glass windows shimmer with starlight instead of sun. Barefoot, Elswith steps inside, her footsteps soundless against the cool flagstone floor. You walk with her quietly, curiously, without fear. The hush in this space is like breath held between notes of a lullaby, reverent and full of something beyond words. At the far end of the chapel, a single candle flickers. It is not a candle of this world, but a dream's creation. Its golden flame glowing softly, casting gentle halos on ancient stone. Elswith kneels not in duty, but devotion. not to a name or creed, but to the quiet itself. You kneel beside her. The stone beneath your knees is solid, grounding. Elswith closes her eyes and listens. And in that silence, she hears the echoes of all the hands that came before her, generations of quiet souls who lived as she does, lighting fires, kneading dough, scrubbing floors in the hush of dawn, lifting children when their mothers were too tired, singing softly to themselves, even when no one was there to hear. Their names are forgotten by history, but not by the earth. The chapel pulses with their presence, faint but steady. They don't speak with voices, but with feeling. A message passed not through words, but through warmth. You are part of something eternal, they seem to say. Asterisk, a thread in the great fabric, a hand in the long chain. You carry peace, because you know how to create it. Elswith smiles, and you feel it to a quiet, knowing warmth in your chest, that even the quiet life, the invisible life, is a sacred one. The flame of the candle bends as a breeze whispers through the chapel. Together you rise. You step outside into the soft dream night once more. The stars remain unchanged. The air is cool, and the earth welcomes you. But the dream shifts again, fluid as a stream. Now, you're in the manor's old kitchen, not during labor, but celebration. The steward's daughter has married, and the feast is done. The family has gone to bed, but the servants remain laughing softly, music weaving gently through the air. A lute plays a slow tune, and the scent of roasted apples lingers sweetly. Elswith sits by the hearth, barefoot and flushed from cider. Her hair has fallen loose from its bindings, and she's never looked more at ease. She talks with the others, a stable boy, an old laundress, a shy cook's apprentice with flowers still on her sleeves. They are not noble or famous, not warriors or poets, but they are the quiet pulse of the manor, the ones who keep its rhythm, the ones behind every meal, every fire, every clean sheet, every act of comfort. And here, in this moment, they glow, lit from within by laughter, by shared bread, by rest earned honestly. You feel the warmth of the hearth deep in your bones. You hear the soft rise and fall of voices, the creak of old chairs, the tired strumming of the lute. You feel your mind sway with the rhythm of the music's, slow and wordless, rocking you gently, like waves against a harbor wall. And now the scene softens, like embers fading into ash. The dream folds in on itself, like a letter being sealed. Elswith sleeps again this time truly, and so do you. The stars begin to dim, not from cloud, but from morning. A pale haze rises over the fields, the sky brushed with blue promise. The birds are silent still, as if waiting for you to rest first. You begin to return, but not waking, only drifting deeper, from dreams to deeper dreams, from floating to resting. Elswith's story is not yet over, but for now it rests wrapped in silence, cradled in time, and you are wrapped in it too. Let go now of the manor, of the dream, of the thoughts still whispering behind your eyes. You are warm, you are whole, you are safe. Nothing more is needed. Only stillness, only sleep. Let your breath be the only sound. Let your heartbeat be the only drum. Now close your eyes and sink down, down into the deepest rest. Thank you. You are sinking now into the deepest folds of rest, where the edges of the world begin to blur, and the hush of night becomes your blanket. You have walked long roads, but now there is nowhere left to go, nowhere you need to be. Only this moment remains, and the soft drift of dreams that gently cradles your mind. Elderbrook Manor sleeps on in perfect stillness, and the land outside breathes quietly with it. Fog curls gently across the fields, cool and silent, folding itself over the golden wheat like a mother's kiss. The trees stand motionless, their leaves stilled by the hush before dawn. Even the birds, those first singers of morning, remain silent, as if caught too in the spell of slumber. Elswith dreams, and in her dream she walks again, but this time not through the halls of the manor. She finds herself instead in the woods beyond Renmere, the place she wandered in childhood, long before duty and routine shaped her days. The forest above forms a soft cathedral of green, moonlight filtering down through the leaves in scattered pearls, touching the mossy ground with silver. She knows this place, and somehow so do you. It is the place one goes when the soul needs quiet, a place where the very air feels wise, ancient, and kind. Elswith walks slowly, her fingertips brushing tall grass as her simple dress rustles like a whispered lullaby. She walks alone, and yet there's a sense of someone watching gently from behind the trees. Not a figure of fear, but of comfort. A grandmother long past, a guardian of the woods, or perhaps just the spirit of the world itself, walking beside her in silence. She passes by an old tree one she once carved her initials into. They're still there, softened by wind and weather, but present. The bark has grown thicker, but it did not forget. Time, it seems, does not erase the gentle things. It only weaves over them like ivy, anchoring them quietly in place. Deeper she goes, where the forest path curls like smoke, and the air turns rich with pine and ancient earth. And there, as though conjured from her longing, she finds a cottage. Not one she recognizes, but one that feels as if it's been waiting for her all along. Small and round, tucked beneath creeping thyme and moss, it looks less like a building and more like something grown from the earth itself. Smoke drifts lazily from a crooked chimney, and warm yellow light glows behind a tiny window. Elswith steps inside. The door creaks but gently, like it remembers being opened before. Within, it is warm, not just in heat, but in feeling. Dried herbs hang from the beams, lavender, sage, chamomile. A kettle sings over the fire. A folded blanket rests on a hand-carved chair. This is no grand place, but it is perfect. It feels made for her. Maybe it was a dream's creation. Maybe it came from her heart. Or maybe it has always been here, waiting for someone to understand it. She kneels beside the hearth and pours herself a cup of tea. Its scent a calming blend of mint and wildflower, sweet and earthy. She sips, and the warmth wraps around her like the blanket resting nearby. You feel it too, as if your own hands cradle that carved wooden mug. As if you, too, have found the place meant only for you. Outside the window, the first stirrings of dawn begin. The dark lifts slowly, like the hem of a curtain revealing a tender, pale morning. But in this place, there is no rush. Time moves differently here. It follows the rhythm of breath. And yours, now, is so very slow. Elswith settles into a rocking chair near the fire. So do you. It creaks gently with each breath, back and forth, like a boat on still waters, like clouds moving quietly over sleeping hills. And as you sit, the cottage itself begins to fade, not like something lost, but like something absorbed into the soul. It was never just a cottage, it was a feeling, a shape the mind takes when it finally surrenders to stillness. And now Elswith sleeps within that shape. She is no longer just a servant or a name whispered in old corridors. She is peace itself, the rhythm of all things done with love, the soft pulse at the center of quiet care. She is the story within your breath. As her dream folds gently back into the deeper tide, you feel yourself become lighter, quieter, more calm than you've ever known. There is no longer any story to follow, only the gentle echo of stillness. The manor remains quiet, the fields lie hushed, the woods hold their breath, and you, dear Trevalue, are at the very center of it all. You've come so far, and now there is nothing left but rest. Let the night hold you. Let your breath guide you deeper. Let your body become the earth itself, soft, resting, quiet, and whole. There is no end, only the endless, gentle unfolding of rest. And now you drift further and further still,